Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Ngobo, and I speak all things about empowerment basically, and this channel really is to inspire in different forms, whether it be speaking about my breast cancer journey, whether it's speaking about marriage and transition, and actually realizing that we all go through different phases within marriage, or it's just sharing my life journey. In whichever form, I try to really bring that out and have a message, not only entertainment, but from a point of empowering or inspiring in some way. And so welcome. If you are new, I would love to have you as part of the community. So today I'm speaking to a particular community. As you can see from the title, I'm speaking to the breast cancer community or cancer community in general. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019, the beginning of 2019, which I discovered the lump at the end of 2018. So it's been quite a journey. I do have other videos. You can look under a playlist called Dear Breast Cancer or Dear Cancer Diaries. And basically I just share my journey with cancer, whether it be chemo, radiation, support, surgery, reconstruction surgery, reconstruction surgery. But that is not the point of today's video. I'm going to speak about fertility and breast cancer, pregnancy after breast cancer. Once I announced that I was pregnant, I received a lot of questions, particularly from people within the community, wanting to know, did you fall pregnant naturally? Did you have to go on any medication? What did you do? How long did it take? And I think I just thought I should sit down and do a video, something I can always reference back to. So this may not apply directly to you, but if you know someone, do share it. And actually just share it anyway, because you know what? You don't know who in your community would need this, who hasn't shared about their diagnosis, or who's been trying for so long and is feeling a bit discouraged. So I really hope this is a story of hope, because this little joy, you probably can't see her now, is really a miracle for myself and my husband. And so let me get straight into it. So the moment you are diagnosed with breast cancer, you are made aware that there's a chance that you may not be able to have children afterwards, because chemotherapy basically works at every growing cell, which includes your ovaries. The fortunate thing is, part of my team, or my oncology team, they gave me the option to go on Zoladex, which basically tries to suppress your ovaries, and then it forces you into menopause. Because of that, you go into this forced menopause. And so I didn't have my periods for over a year, which is amazing, by the way. I could not have my periods and not have to be pregnant, so that was amazing. And so that was just something my oncology team told me, that there is a chance that this could work, but because also you're younger, this could actually you have a higher chance of being able to fall pregnant later. But for someone who had always wanted children, who had always envisioned her life like with a family, it was a bit devastating to think that I wouldn't be able to have kids. But more than the thought of not being able to have kids, once I had gone through part of my treatment, the thought of not being able to breastfeed my children is actually what hurt me the most. So I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, triple negative breast cancer. And it's important to note that, because there are different kinds of breast cancers. And that's also important because I'll touch on the kind of treatment and how I fell pregnant was a bit different. So because it was beginning to grow, it hadn't spread, but it was starting to grow. And my surgeons had said, I have to choose between either a double mastectomy or just removing one. Mastectomy meaning they removed everything. And so it was quite a hard decision for me, only because I just thought, this means I won't be able to breastfeed my child. And that was hard for me. It was very hard. And speaking to the social worker, which is like the counselor at the hospital, she said to me, I have both my breasts, and I didn't even like breastfeeding. I didn't breastfeed my kids. It was sore. I didn't like it, but it didn't mean I couldn't bond with my child. So I think that really gave me perspective to say, listen, if I have to weigh it, I don't want to keep one of the breasts, and there's a chance that it could reoccur, and then I'm not there for my child who I'm supposedly thinking of in this moment. Whereas I would rather have, I'd rather be alive, be able to carry my child, bring my child into this world, and just use formula, and just bond with them in a different way. So that was what allowed me the freedom to make the decision to have a double mastectomy. I did have a reconstruction, so there is my last vlog with regards to the cancer journey is about the reconstruction and being able to have expanders being filled in. So yes, I do have breastises, but that's a story for another day. I think being young and wanting to kind of feel like myself or recognize myself was part of the reason why I chose to do the reconstruction. So yeah, for myself, I went on Zoloda. Then once I got off treatment, once I had done my surgeries, I had to go on, I think, a 6 to 9 month oral chemo. I was like, physical chemo, oral chemo. And yeah, that happened. I still didn't have my periods. I would regularly, or maybe like once or twice a year, do like an ovarian function test to see if my ovaries were working again and what were the chances of, the system working and me being able to have kids. But it was usually low. And it didn't discourage me, but I just thought, okay, it's low. Let's see, maybe sometimes it takes a year. And yeah, so then afterwards, I think sometime 9 months after that, my periods came back. Or 8 months after that, my periods came back. They came back in like November. So from April, May, June, July, September, November. Yeah, 7-8 months later, my periods come back. But your periods coming back does not mean that your ovarian function is well and good. So I would still do the test and would be like, oh, it's okay. I'm not saying it's high. My oncologist would be like, I'm not saying it's high, but it's okay. And so yeah, that was November, and I think 3 months later, I decided to take out my IUD. So I got a copper IUD, which is non-hormonal. And the reason I got that was I just didn't want any hormone, anything that could change or alter my hormones within my body, even though I had triple negative, which means it's triple negative, like hormone receptors, the kind of cancer that I had, but I just didn't want a chance of anything to alter the hormones. But with that, the copper IUD actually increases your blood flow or your period flow. And so I was already a heavy flow and it made it heavier, and I already have low iron and I just lost a lot of blood. And even though they can give you medication to help suppress that, 2 years of medication and treatment, I was like, no, get sharp. I don't want any more. So let's just take it out. And anyway, my ovarian function is a bit low. My periods only just came back now. And they say even after your periods come back or you're out of forced menopause, it could take another possibly a year to 3 years for you to even fall pregnant after you come out of contraceptives. So I was like, listen, I'm already, I don't know how old I was, 27. And if it could take 3 years, that could be until 30. There's no chance that I'll fall pregnant in this time, but I would rather try start now than later, or find out that I can't later. Or also, maybe I wasn't fertile, so who's to say that that was the biggest factor? So I took it out because of losing a lot of blood, and I took it out in February. And then in July, so February, March, April, May, June, July, 5 months later, and then I conceived. Can I tell you that I could feel like I literally had, what do they call it? There's another term for it. My chemo brain and pregnancy brain are not allowing me to remember right now. But yeah, I literally, it was a surprise because yes, even though we were not actively planning, but obviously because my ovarian function was a bit low, I really wasn't expecting it. And we didn't know if I would be able to fall pregnant. So yeah, that's been my journey. And I know if you are here or are watching and maybe you're wondering, okay, but I have, my breast cancer is hormone receptive or positive, and you're currently on tamoxifen, which basically, if your breast cancer was hormone receptive, you're going to be placed after chemotherapy and surgery and radiation, whatever you had, you're placed on a 5 to 10 year treatment. And they advise that you don't try fall pregnant within the first 5 years after treatment, once you're in remission, because pregnancy changes your hormones, and hormones could alter or affect already, everything in your body, which it's the cancer cells as well. And so there is a chance that you can stop tamoxifen like after 3 years to try for a baby and then go back on treatment. But I really am not clued up on that. I might try get my oncologist to do a vlog with me just so that she can share a bit more on the options for fertility. I am based in Cape Town, so I think this would be helpful for women who even would like to go see her or maybe another team. It's just questions that you've had. And so I know that it is quite different for you because sometimes you have to go the route of IVF. I'm not so clued up on that. But one of the things as well is when I got my diagnosis, I was given the option to freeze my eggs because I was so young, and they're like, if you want to have kids, we know you probably want to have kids, you don't have any, you could freeze your eggs. But mind you, I was scheduled, I got my diagnosis in like in Jan. I was scheduled to have my first chemo in Feb. And then this treatment, or not the treatment, the procedure to freeze my eggs would actually delay the chemo. And to be honest, weighing the two, my priorities, I was like, I'm trying to stay alive. I'm trying to make sure this don't spread. And my eggs, they'll just suffer. And Lord, if I can have kids, I can. If not, I'll adopt. Like, I was just really, it was a lot. I must think about not being able to have kids, trying to have a procedure, which also could have its own like complications. And then I must also think about going into chemo, something unknown. It was a lot. So I chose my battle. And I just chose to rather start with chemotherapy immediately. And so I'm here today. Baby is almost here, almost golden brown, baking, and got her to golden brown. And so I'm truly grateful. I know for some women watching this, it may be hard because you've been trying for so long. It was a year and a half post treatment and having been in remission that I was able to fall pregnant. But obviously, mind you, I was on an IUD from the beginning, even of receiving the diagnosis. I was really on, actually no, I'm lying, but I did get onto the IUD a bit later after treatment, and so after I got married. So yeah, it may be a bit difficult for you watching, wanting to know the information, but at the same time, you're also like, it's hard because you were able to fall pregnant and I've been trying for so long. And so I do really sympathize for you watching who isn't able to have a child, and at the same time, really hopeful and praying that you are able to have the family that you want. But the biggest thing is that you have fought and overcome cancer. So wow, I think that's really amazing, to be honest, a miracle in and of itself that you were able to live, but I know with the element of fighting for your life, you also want to be able to carry life, to have a child, to feel like you're going back to some form of normal, and not just this label. But it really isn't to you, but it's something that you have gone through. So you can't really choose the diagnosis, but definitely you can choose how we live afterwards to some degree. So I am thinking of everyone in this tribe, and I hope that you can share this with someone if you did watch till the end. And yeah, stay tuned. I will share a bit more. We'll get other ladies on to also share as well. Some of the stresses, and I don't want to lie, I will touch on this in more of my motherhood vlogs, has been, and actually more, it's like motherhood, but mostly like breast cancer, like specific, because in the society that we live in, it's very like, breast is best. And so that's what they like feed you. You sign up for like any weekly updates on pregnancy, and they're like, week 35, week 24, by now your breasts are tender and your breasts are preparing to release milk. Have you thought about? And then like week 35, they're like, oh, there's this breast pump, and you're like, I'm not even gonna have a chance to breastfeed. Like, where's the information about the kind of formula that you can get? Yes, we know breast is best, but I'm unable to. So what is the next best thing? What should I be looking out for? which brand do mamas out there, you know, speak about and recommend. Bottles, how do I know? There's so many brands. How do I know which bottle to get? Which one is best? Is it the one that's shaped like this, the teat, the what? So it can feel lonely being on this journey, but I hope that through me sharing as well my experience, and I think that's why I say this channel and everything that I share is about information more than entertainment, and about empowering and giving a lesson from it, because I wish there was more out there, you know. And if I have to be that person to go this uncharted route in order to be able to have all the information ready for some, you know, BC warrior, then that is what we gotta do. And we'll figure it out and trial and error and buy many bottles and many formulas until we find the right one. And then I'll be right back here, your sister, you're in your community, to tell you everything that you should try. So yeah, I'm not gonna make this any longer than it is. I'm already heading to 20 minutes. Woo! I can speak, guys, but also this has been months and years of a journey that I'm summarizing into 20 minutes. But yeah, thank you so much for staying up until this point. Love you so much. Hit the like, subscribe button and share it with someone, because guess what? You don't know who may need this. And I'm super encouraged by all the DMs I get on Instagram and the messages I get from women who have found my page somehow looking for someone or some information because an aunt or you were diagnosed with breast cancer. And I'm so grateful for the community and friends I've made within this community as well. So I love you all, and see you on the next vlog. I promise to be consistent.